Hello and welcome. It's Vegas here with Jess Art.
Hi guys.
She sat behind the camera today because she's not very well.
I've got a cold.
She's got a bit of a cold. So she's in her gym jam, so she doesn't want to be seen. So it's one of those things that I have to come on board to get this working. Why am I here? Well, we've got the exciting news. I'm hoping some of you would have seen by the Twitter that we're actually going to give away not one, not five, but 10 canvases. There's been such a demand and request for them. We've actually sold quite a few canvases recently. You would have hopefully seen that we've successfully sent a couple to Austria.
Yes.
We sent a couple to Florida.
Yep.
We've now had orders for 3 to go to Qatar.
Yeah.
And 3 to go to Texas, which we're really excited
about. Yeah.
So what we've done is this weekend we've minted another set of NFTs, another 11 of your pictures of canvases, and we've done a pre-sale to our existing loyal collectors because there are some we like to maintain a one-to-one relationship with our buyers. We're not here to make lots and lots of money in terms of, as you've seen, some of these 10,000 NFTs that are generated with the rarity and not rarity. We are doing this because of what?
My own art.
You're doing it. Why are we doing this? Why are we selling your art?
To get it out into the world and to make people happy.
Well, that's another motive behind this, and that's because you need the money to
get to art school.
So the idea is the money will go to your art. That's what we're going to spend it on, every penny of it. There may be a slight exception that next week we might need to buy you a GoPro because we need to start getting you filming on your own, drawing and painting. Because what happens next week?
I break up from school, so school, well, not just breaking up, I finished school.
You finished school, you're not just broken up, you're not going to have half term and go back, not like your boyfriend, is it?
No.
He has to go back to school, it's quite funny. Not because he's a younger age, it's just there was an option whether they extend on into the summer or not.
But we said no, and I'm going to focus on my art.
Exactly, because there are too many people that want your paintings. So we've got 3 commissions. We're going to get talking to those customers and making sure, 1, that they want it, and 2, making sure we have the artwork that they want drawn and painted.
Yeah.
But yes, today's all about coming back onto subject, is giving away canvases. So what we've done, we've minted 12 of the new 11 pieces. So we've increased that by 2. And again, we've been talking to the 2 or 3 big collectors that we have right now, just to make sure that they're comfortable with what we're doing, because we want to take everybody along on the ride, because the way we see this is it's not just about a quick sale, it's about getting you into university.
Yeah.
And hopefully one day you'll pay us back by becoming famous and all our pictures and NFTs will be worth a fortune. So we've created those new NFTs, and of course, as we've always tell people, in the first 2 sets there were 10 of each. And there were 2 sets of 11, so there was 22, and we've got the new 11, so that's 33. But in the first 2 sets, all 3 sets, you keep 0. And that's really because although it's exciting that your canvases are going off to the world, it's also really quite sad, isn't it?
To see them out there, because I've painted them myself and they're all just so special to me. It's hard of letting go of them, but I'm excited for you guys to see them and look at them every single day. Yeah,
no, and I feel like that with the Sunny Solent, because that one that went off to Austria, that's the one I always chose. And I know that my wife had one, her eye on one of the particular ones that's going off to Texas soon. So she's also very gutted that one of them that she didn't put claim on in time, she has kept the jellies, and I don't blame her, because the jellies is awesome. So we are trying to be very careful with what we're giving away. And I know that another guy from the Philippines was very keen on the up picture, but unfortunately that was already my wife's, and I'm not having another argument with her about whether we can say, oh, we'll send that off.
Yeah, it's because it was painted for Mum on Mother's Day for me, from me for her.
So those NFTs, the spare ones we've got from the 1 and 2 sets that haven't sold, we're going to take those and combine them with the new set. And I know we've got the pre-sales, they've already gone out. But as of tomorrow morning, and I'm going to say 11 o'clock UTC, we're going to open up the sales of those pictures. But we're not going to do it in a traditional way. We're not going to just give you the option to pick those pictures. We did give people warning over this weekend that we were open to offers if anybody wanted them. And we have actually had a couple of people take us up on that. But tomorrow morning, we are going to open up a sale process of which we're going to provide an address, and there's going to be an automated process. You've seen that with the CNFT sales, and effectively, we're going to do a lucky dip for those pictures, those NFTs. Sorry. So, if you buy 1, 2, or 3, you will get a random pick of those. We are going to put the price point at 50 ADA for 1. 80 ADA for 2, so i.e. each one is only 40, or 100 ADA for 3, which is around 33 ADA. So that keeps us in the ballpark of where we've sold in the past with our current collectors, but also we're hoping that because we've increased the volume as well slightly, that gives us a fair average price for everybody. But what will happen is that automation, not only will it give you back a picture or an NFT or 3, depending on whether you buy 1, 2 or 3, it will try and attempt to give you at least 1 different picture or 1 different NFT. So the idea is you won't get 3 of the same type. Hopefully that's subject to availability, because as we get closer to selling out, if we do, then there's a point when we won't be able to guarantee that. Now, I mentioned about the 10 canvases. I've got them in this box. We've carefully picked out 10 that what we're going to say is these 10, we will allow the NFT holder to claim within roughly a year. We won't hold it to exactly a year, but we're going to provide a year's grace that the owner of an NFT, and it will be a specific one, and we'll explain in a second that, but basically the owner of that NFT may claim, subject to shipping, because we don't know where you are in the world. We're willing to post it and send it, and we will negotiate and talk to you about the cost, and we would have to charge you the cost, but we would gift you the canvas for free with just the shipment to be paid. So the idea is that NFT, whatever one it is, will entitle that owner, or you may, over this year, you may sell that token on, and as long as it's not being claimed, that next person who owns it may claim. So the idea is your token now may become slightly more valuable because somebody else might want that canvas. If you don't particularly want the canvas, you can sell that token on to somebody else who may claim. Now you may ask, how do we verify? Now that's quite a simple process. Because there is a shipment cost, what we will say is the person who wishes to claim it will make the payment of the shipment, and as long as the NFT is in that same wallet, we'll be able to verify and validate that you own that NFT and are therefore qualified for the shipment. So it's very easy for us to validate as long as you are holding that token in the wallet you're going to buy from. So how are we going to issue who can win that canvas? That's the burning question. Well, from these canvases, we know that there are some NFTs for those canvases left in this sale. I know we've got some pre-sales. They are included in this, effectively a draw. So what we're going to do is, with Jess's help, we've got some cards, and I'll explain in a minute, but what we're going to do is go through each canvas. We're going to take the NFT for that canvas. So the very first one will be called Away at the Sea, and it's a new canvas. And it's a new NFT that we printed. And what we're going to do is we're going to randomise the sequence. So we've got 11 cards here, the ace being 1, the jack being 11. And because it's a new one, Away at Sea has 11 NFTs. We will draw a card, and that card number is the sequence number token of that set that entitles the owner to claim the canvas. So basically that owner, when it turns up in their wallet, The idea is you'll need to check if you purchase any of these lucky dips effectively, when your NFT turns up in your wallet, we will have published this video and we will publish a table of each of the NFTs and the sequence number you require. So once they turn up in your wallet, have a look in the table on the website, or watch this video again if you want to see the draw, and you now have a decision to make. You can either ask us and discuss shipment of the canvas to you, like I say, subject to us actually finding a courier that's going to charge, and unfortunately we do have to charge you for that because otherwise we are going to be significantly out of pocket. Or the alternative is you can now go to talk to other people and other buyers that you actually have a token that's entitled to a canvas, a genuine Jess canvas. And as I say, there has been a couple of canvases that have sold for a significant amount of monies already. I'm not willing to divulge those, but I can say those that have already gone to Florida and to Austria, the buyers have been very, very, very kind.
Yes.
Very, very generous. And in fact, the ones that are going to Texas and going to Qatar, thank you very much as well for your generosity as well. What we do hope in return is when your package does turn up, we are hoping that you'll make an unwrapping video, because we do love to see people's faces as they open and touch them.
Yes.
So shall we get on with this, because I'm waffling on, aren't I? Let's get into the box now. I'm really excited about this, and Jess is going to give us a quick discussion about each one of these. Now, if I've done this right, I've prepared all of these in the right order. Now, we do look after the artwork as carefully as we can. So this is the first piece, which is called Away at Sea.
Yes.
So do you want to give us a discussion, or do you want to explain what this picture is all about?
So, whilst watching one of David Attenborough's programs of his many adventures out with the animals, there was cliffs and seabirds on the cliffs, and I felt inspired by him to do something that included that with a beautiful skyline. And
what we did was at the weekend, I've minted this one. So there is, like I say, there are 12 minted, of which Jess has kept 0, so there's only 11 left. And I had to re-image the painting because we actually found that the image that we had on the website was quite blurry. So that's now a better quality NFT. So that's the very first one. So what we're going to do is, because there are 11 of them available, and as stated before, there has been some pre-sales already, but we will ignore the pre-sales. They will still count in this draw. And unfortunately, that's just the way it works, that a randomization process. But basically, nobody will see this video until the morning. And I'm going to shuffle these up, and we need Jessica to draw one of these. Let me just make sure she doesn't see them. That's a good idea. You zoom in into the picture. Right, so it's completely fair. And the reason why we've done this on the video is because we're quite an honest pairing. We really value your custom, and we really want to be engaged with our buyers. So the problem with this process tomorrow is we become slightly separated from our buyers to the owners. And the reason being is I was actually hoping to know who owns and who has the copies of these things. Certainly with the canvases. So if you're one of those canvas collectors, we obviously will have to talk about shipment. We then get that engagement together. We get to know who you are, and that's really important to us. This isn't about just making money. This is about Jessica's fund and her going to university. My art journey. Yes, and of course, as a parent, from my point of view, if you guys weren't buying this Ada, yes, I'd be paying towards Jessica's fees for her college and then for university. However, we're treating this more as a business, and that's where you come in. You're genuine customers, and we're hoping. I debated with some of your artwork that, in my opinion, some of the artwork isn't up to scratch and isn't as great as the exotic birds that you've now produced for the GCSEs. I think you'll agree. Yeah, I will agree. Some pieces aren't my most favourite. But what we have to remember is they're your early pieces. These are your early day pieces.
Before learning all my skills.
Exactly. So it's like going and buying an early, I don't know, what's one of the famous artists that you can think of?
Vincent van Gogh.
Yeah.
Early Van Gogh picture.
So many collectors rush out to try to find the very early, very first artwork, and that's what these are. These are we're on a journey with Jess, and I'm hoping you're going to stick with us. For the
I will.
Because there are a couple of programs we're hoping that you might enter, like the UK Skies Portrait of the Year or the Landscape. We hope at least you will enter.
Maybe.
And if we can get you on there, that'd be brilliant. So there are 11 cards, and so this will be the Away at the Sea. So the holder of the NFT for the Away at the Sea and the card you'll select. Can you do that with one hand on your phone? You pick a card. Don't take too much time. It's a
that
card.
one.
That one.
Yes.
Okay. So number 5. Whoever's holding 5 at sea, and I'm going to make a note of that, is entitled to claim that canvas. Now we're going to move this on a little bit faster. So I'm going to take out the next one. And I know this one was very popular for certain people. Now, again, this was one of those ones for me because the car, I was a little bit...
The proportions.
Exactly. Otherwise, I love this piece. Would you like to explain it?
So this was based on a photo that I saw on Pinterest, and I loved the light captured by all the greenery and trees, and it was just an image of this scene where it had literally just rained with an old-fashioned lamp, and all the light was caught with the car and everything, and it's quite a good one to my own. So it's a good personal one, as it was my first ever like proper buildings one.
Yes, architecture.
Yeah,
so
architecture.
That's why we put this under. Was it architecture? Yeah, I think we put it under architecture.
Either
that or landscape. I don't remember which one. I think it was architecture. But I particularly liked the light, and I remember you painting this, and we were discussing how to get the light better and better. Right. So while you've been talking, and that's why we're doing that, and I just want to make sure. It's very important because the paint will stick to each other, so we're very delicate with these artwork. So there are 4 lamps left. There is an NFT 3, 7, 8 and 9. So that's according to my book. So there are only 4 of these left available in the sets. So again, I'm going to turn my back so Jess can't see.
Zoom into the art.
And again, this is purely because we want to be completely honest and open of how we're doing this. So if you go ahead and pick one, I'll write it down.
This one.
So number 9, to top of the shop. So whoever ends up with the lamp number 9 would be entitled to claim this canvas, subject to the shipping, and I've got to keep mentioning the shipping. On average, we found that so far, shipment to Europe was around 40 to 50 ADA, and 40 to 50 pounds, because I know ADA's dropped a little bit in price, but it's about 40, 50 pounds. And Texas was so shipping to Florida and to Texas was between 30 and 50 pounds, which at an ADA, £1 to an ADA, that's roughly 30 to 50 ADA. And it was about to Europe was around that 40 to 50 as well. I do know when we looked at the Philippines, because I know that one of these particular pieces, the buyer was desperately hoping to be lucky. We looked at that and that was significantly more. So we can ship anywhere in the world. It's just come down to price. Right. So the third piece is the stream. And while Jess is talking to you about that, I'm going to get the cards ready.
So this was one of my ones that was inspired by Bob Ross, but it was made without one of his amazing videos guiding me, and it was just one of my landscapes that I took from my own imagination of springtime with a stream. And I really quite like it because it has all the bright flowers and springtime theme.
Oh, I see what you mean, yes. And
So
really, I have not looked at this in detail, but you are right, yes.
Yes.
My problem with it is purely on the perspective. It's not quite right on the stream.
Yes, and I'm still learning about perspective. But I think my favourite bit are the hidden 2 little trees at the back here.
Oh,
with
at
the
back
little
there, yes.
purple
In the
flowers
distance.
in the distance.
Okay, well this is the third piece. I know, because I don't want to bore everybody. But this one, we've still got 6 pieces left. We've got number 2, number 3, number 4, number 7, number 8 and number 9 in this set. So again, I'm going to turn my back.
Zoom back in. You can see all the little white that I've put to show the river splashing.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to deal these out in a random order as well. So there are 6 to choose from. And if you'd like to tell me which one. So if you pick one.
I'm thinking of going for that.
Number
one.
2.
Number 2.
So anybody ending up with the stream number 2 sequence, you would be entitled to claim this piece of artwork. Just going to make sure nothing is damaged. It's slightly bigger, that one. And that's the other thing with the shipment, depending. So these first 3 have all been frames, but some of the artwork are canvas boards, and some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller. So again, it just depends on the shipment size and cost. So here's the 4th piece, which is the Lonely Bend. And I love this. The more I look at this, I love it because of the texture here.
One of my very, very first ones that I did after watching Bob Ross's videos. It wasn't from one of his videos, but it was after watching it, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'd like to take from some of his techniques, and I used big fan brush for the lovely little trees, happy little trees, as he says, and then the river with all the texture of the white.
And the sky looks really cold and miserable.
Yes. So it was basically just a imaginative piece.
Yeah, so you've just done that off the top of your head.
Yeah.
And it's important to note that each piece is signed, with the exception of the fox, and we're going to get that signed. We'll come on to that in a minute. The other thing is they're all dated.
They're all dated.
Just
yes.
to make sure. So we are gradually updating the website with the details, but because we're going to get this going, just so you know, the date and the time, the dates of these artworks are there as well.
Wait, can I quickly say something? If I say something quickly, some of these ones that were earlier than the rest of the ones that I've done, some of them have a little dot at the end of my JES.
Oh.
Some may not, some do, and different colours mean different things, as we've put on the website. So just look out for them.
Yeah, don't tell anybody. Then we can come on to that later.
Yeah.
If you've got this thing. Again, it's the same 6 numbers again in this piece. So 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 and 9. So I'm going to randomise those, so you keep talking.
I'll zoom in.
Yeah, we don't want to tell everybody all your secrets right now. That's really quite cool if there's meaning to some of those signatures.
We'll explain them later then
at
some
then
point.
people will come back.
Right.
Okay, so the number, the washing machine's telling us it's finished.
Sorry, I've just...
Yeah. Number 9.
9
Okay.
again.
Yeah, again, number 9. That's what happens when you randomise things. You can turn these over just so people can see they were randomly placed. Right. Oh, now this one's one of those ones. It had its partner, and the partner is going to be sent off very, very soon, the whale.
Yes.
And this was the other piece that I loved. I absolutely love this. But this is, just so people can see, is a board and not a canvas frame.
It's a canvas board panel.
Oh, a board panel.
It's
okay.
a board panel.
Can you tell us about it while I get the cards ready?
So this was one of my watercolour pieces, as you can see, with all the paint drips, and I felt really inspired to capture light and dark shades in it. I just love underwater creatures and animals. They just bring happiness to me. So it was one of the ones, like my whale, after I had done it, that I just liked, and I felt, you know what, I think sea life needs to be looked at more.
Yeah, and I've just noticed the squids.
Yes.
Okay, now with this set there are 6 of these remaining, but the difference is it starts with 1, so it goes 1, 2, 3 rather than 2, 3, 4. So it's those 6. So okay, so let me just cover those up. I can't believe we're giving these away, really. It is a shame.
Yeah.
We've had boxes and boxes in our room for well, about a year now, these ones,
But
aren't they?
yeah. But you can see all the little watercolour techniques. If you see some drips, and you can see the bottom of the floor and the rays. The rays and the actual rays of light coming and shining on the rays.
Okay, you know the duties. Okay. Number
9.
What on earth is going on? So look, they are definitely there.
Oh man.
It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, nobody's actually bought these. I know that the Away at the Sea, there's been a buy, but what I mean is by these, they're going to be randomly given to people by them buying in. So it doesn't matter that you've just drawn 9 and 9 and 9 again. That's just the way it is. I'm just doing this openly because what I don't want to do is have people saying, well, you gave it to a friend or whatever. It's got to be random. You've seen it on the cards. We've told you what it is on the video. There are no arguments. And that's the whole point, is to make this open and clear to everybody. Right, okay. So let's get rid of the rays. Yes, I've still got this right. So this piece, this one, again, is on a board. And this one, I was 2 minds whether we should allow this one to go.
This is one of my acrylics on board.
And just the texture of it is absolutely gorgeous.
So I watched a few YouTube videos on my sea theme, and I wanted to learn how to paint sea with acrylics, as you can see here with lots of texture. So I watched the video, and then I kind of went through step by step, but obviously changing the background to suit my art style, including birds, and then changed a few bits, added a few little starfish, and more of a green tint.
Yeah, just these little hidden bits.
So yes.
And it's important that video and pictures can't do these justice. With the NFTs, if you actually go to the pool PM and you click onto it and then you click onto the last version, it'll then give you the plus minus to zoom right in. Zoom right into them because you'll see right into the depths of them. But even then, it doesn't give you the texture.
Yeah.
Some of the angles you get from some of these pictures, until you see them, until you got them in your hand, you can't really appreciate them as well. But let's move on because otherwise we'll be keeping... People don't want to watch this for hours. We're back to the 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 and 9. There are 6. Yeah, 6 left. So I'll randomise these while you finish off your chat.
See all the little brush strokes. And I added more green, as the sea is lots of different colours, not just blue. Got lots of different shades of greys and blacks and greens. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I'm also wary of time.
Let's go middle.
An 8. So
An 8.
It would have been easy just to pick all the 9s, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make sure there was a bit of randomness that you just don't automatically know. So that will be the Waves number NFT sequence 8. If you end up in that your wallet, then that's the one that you can ask for. Now this one. I am really surprised by this. I actually think this is one of your spectacular pieces. Yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't been as popular as I thought. So, and I have to admit that I've been surprised. So
this is my koi cup that I painted on an acrylic canvas. So it's the thicker board, and so I was inspired by lots of different things, and I thought to myself, you know what, I really like those little koi cups that you can see in those beautiful ponds with lily pads, and I felt inspired to do them justice, hopefully, and came up with this. So I started with a blue background, blended it all in, painted in the koi cup, and as you can see, he is surrounded by all these lily pads, and I take my inspiration from Monet for those.
And I've been surprised, and the reason why I say that, there are just 4 left, 3, 7, 8 and 9. So we have sold 5 of these. But I actually thought this would fly out the door like the giraffes and like the whales, because when you look at this, it's beautiful. Secondly, I know that there are a lot of collectors for koi carp. You didn't paint this for any other reason than painting it. But I'm of the understanding that in Japan they're quite sought after koi carp pictures in general. So I was quite surprised that this really didn't. So I tried to. I linked to several different Japanese pools and trying to get people interested in this, and didn't really get as much involvement from people as I thought we would. But that's the way it is. Somebody here is. I'm quite jealous of this one, like the waves one. This is one of the ones. It will be hard to see that disappear. So I'm going to shuffle the 4 cards.
You can see all the little details and the little brush marks that I've made, like it's in a little swirling stream of water, and you can see all the little bubbles as well.
Right.
Right.
You know the drill.
Okay. That one.
Number 3. Ah, nice low one. Now this next one is the exciting time, because I know there is one particular person that's actually out in the Philippines who's absolutely mad for this picture.
Oh,
and it is tiny. I did say and mention. So actually, if the said person was able to win this, it's actually quite an easy little picture to send it off to the Philippines. So come on, you tell us, because this is one you were never so keen on.
This was one of my experiments that I thought didn't go quite to plan.
Really? Why?
I don't know. There's part of my art brain that goes, you know what, I don't think it's the best that I've done. But obviously people like it.
Well, so many people have commented on it, and I love it. I'm colourblind, so I don't mind people knowing. And I love the fact that that red and green, to me, just disappears. It's brilliant. And it's only when I look closely, I think, wow.
I think it's because you can see the layers upon layers of paint that I've put down. And then all the little white details all around.
And what's it missing?
A signature. I mean, you can really faintly see one there.
Can you?
You can really faintly. You'll be able to see it on camera. You can read. It's as it's rubbed off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just here. But it definitely needs touching up.
Touching up, but you can see.
And we must touch it up, because we can't have artwork go out without a signature.
Yes.
It's very important.
Very important.
I've actually embossed on it a digital one for the NFT, I'm afraid. Because it didn't have one, I've used a font and just put that on there. Just to ensure that people realise these are your copyright. I know you're selling these, but these were your pictures and it's your copyright. The owner of the canvas, they may do whatever they like with the canvas and they own that. But at the end of the day, the copyright on the picture itself was your work.
Yeah.
And that's what's really important. Okay, so it's a new set. So there's all 11 into this one. So I'll shuffle them up.
I'll show you all the little details. And you can see the brown leaves and then the greener leaves. And it gets brighter towards a bit and it focuses around the fox. And you can see all the individual brush strokes that I've used for the fox. Here with his bushy tail. And all the leaves and foliage.
Now I know this is a good luck. I'm going to say good luck to my friends in the Philippines. I really do genuinely hope your number comes up. We have done this completely independently just to make sure that everybody has a chance. So good luck. And away you go, sweetheart. Whatever number you want to pick out. I'm going with that one.
Sorry.
And it's going to be
it's number 8.
Let's write down number 8 against that one. Next, and I'm not going to mention whether he has or hasn't won, or she or he. I can't say too much, because it's also important that I do believe that sometimes it's up to you whether you want to remain anonymous or not. So again, from that point of view, although you would have to talk to us about shipments, we quite clearly wouldn't explain to people. We will mention the country, and we hope you might do a video if you're willing to. If you're not, that's fine. from our point of view, is privacy is also very important to us as well. So fear not that
Yeah.
if you want to remain anonymous, we can honour that as well. We will need 2 details for shipment. The first is an address, an international address. But unfortunately, the second piece is the mail company that we use, which then picks out either FedEx or DHL, one of the other big brands, depending on your country. They will insist on a mobile number, and that's primarily because to make sure that the delivery happens correctly. It's that or an email account. Okay, so coming to the
Ooh,
second to last, the
yes.
penultimate, is White Waters.
This is one inspired by Bob Ross's videos and one of his coffees he did. And this was me practicing with my fan brush on the pools of white water.
So there is a video that we could watch that he paints this.
He paints something similar to this. Obviously, I've turned my own creative juices to, obviously, but it's the same techniques and scenes.
Fair enough. Let's go on to the cards, and then you can then do your last talk. So we've got 7, 8, and 9 of this one. This one, I was amazed again when we first experimented. Well, you carry on. I carry on talking. Sorry. When we first experimented by selling these NFTs, I was surprised because I like this, and one of the buyers that bought this, it was minted because the person asked me, "Could you mint that for us so I can buy one now?" And I was always shocked and surprised by that. Okay.
Yeah, you can see all the little flecks. I just like all the different colours, and you can see with my palette knife all the textures as well on the tree, creating the bark.
And I am going to say one other thing. We are only giving these canvases away to these new purchases, and I appreciate there are people and collectors out there that have bought the White Water previously in the previous set. However, this offer is for these new sales. Obviously, from our point of view, we can't justify selling the old stock, effectively the old NFTs, and then say, but a previous buyer has now won it. We are giving these away because we feel that you as buyers deserve something from us, and we're hoping that you would genuinely like the canvases. But unfortunately, to win one, you will have to buy in this sale that starts tomorrow. Okay, so there are 3 of these, so away you go, honey.
Number 9.
Which isn't a surprise. Out of 3, you had 7, 8 and 9. It's not a surprise that you're picking out 9. That is no surprise whatsoever. So the last one, I know we need 2, 3 and 4 back. So let's just get 2, 3 and 4 back. So I've got the cards there. So the last one, and then you can go back to whatever you were doing, getting ready for school tomorrow.
Yes.
This one makes me really warm and fuzzy inside. Every time I look at it, I see something more in it.
I think it's because it was kind of taken from lots of previous Bob Ross pictures, and then I did my own thing. This is not one of his scenes that I replicated in my own style. This is just me experimenting and having fun.
And I love the reeds coming out of the water, and then I look at the tree here, and then I look at the light down the branch, and
yes,
it's just the more I look at it, because I'm colourblind, all I see is a mass of green, but it gradually pokes its head out, and I suddenly see.
You can see, if I zoom closer, you can see that the sky travels, and then you've got dots of blue linking with the water, and then the yellows and then the greens. But over here, if you see, you can see the contrast, and then the little bits of tree leaf that I've done in a lighter colour that you can see.
And of course, this is genuine canvas. So there's a couple of things. Is obviously I looked down here the other day and thought, oh, there's a little bit of paint come off, but that's what canvas is all about. That's why we've got to be very delicate with these things. They are genuine paint. And the other thing that you like to do, but we haven't done, and I said no, is you normally like to touch up
the edges to make it seem more put together.
Yeah. But from our point of view, I said, no, they're going to go out raw as they are now. Sorry, I'm over-talking to you, and you are right. You're the artist, you tell us. You just didn't want to come on camera because you're not very well.
And obviously in my pyjamas, as Dad just said. And And so, yeah, the edges, from an artist's point of view, you always want things to be your best work. And so I do. Some of them are touched up, but the majority aren't touched up on the edges.
But these are going out
So,
as is,
as
untouched anymore.
Yeah.
And we're delicately, and I'm hoping that for those that have watched any of the unwrappings of the pictures that I've sent so far, you'll see that we go to an extreme to wrap them up. That piece is we will pay for is the wrapping and the boxing, etc. And like I say, it's just the shipment cost because we are reliant on the shipment company. So the other offer that I've said to other people is obviously if the shipment turns up to you and it comes in a very bad way, obviously we'll then discuss with you what we can do going forward, because obviously we wouldn't want you to come to a point that one fear that we always have is this isn't a scam, this isn't a made up thing. We genuinely care about these pictures, we genuinely care that coming to you, and obviously it would break our heart if one of these gets lost or gets destroyed or gets damaged in any shape or form. So be assured that if you are one of the lucky winners, or if you are one of the lucky token holders that wish to purchase the canvas, we will do our best to make sure that you receive it in the best quality and as quickly as possible. Okay, so we've got the last 6 cards. I'll shuffle them up.
But I really like the colour. I've always loved colour. I've always seemed to have a little spark for it and complementing it. So as you can see there.
So this is the 10th picture, and go on, you're going to draw out number 9, aren't you, again? Oh!
7.
You ruined it. Number 7 on the shoreline then.
I was hoping we'd pick out number 7.
And that's definitely the end of the box. So we're all out now. That's all 10 canvases. So I hope you appreciated the quick walkthrough. Well, it wasn't very quick, was it? I hope everybody understands the sale process. So as of 11 o'clock UTC tomorrow, we will provide an address on the Jess Art website, and you simply send, and this is very, very important, please send exact amount, either 50 for 1, 80 for 2, or 100 for 3. It's important because the automation looks at that exact amount. So it looks at it and says, if it matches, we can proceed. If it's got a few 8 or above, that's fine. We allow for the dust, although we would prefer just to receive the exact amount. However, if there is a discrepancy more than about 5%, we actually don't process the transaction and we will issue a refund instead. Now that might be very disappointing for you, especially if you get in early for that sale. So please be very, very careful on what you send. Please make sure you only take it from the official website or from our official Jess Twitter account. We will only publish those 2 mediums. We will also honour the refund if we do sell out. We will give people enough warning. So there are approximately 188 NFTs right now for sale, but we will give a rundown as we get closer. From the website, you will see there will be 2 links that take you into the pool PM, and it will show you the NFTs that are left in the sending account that we're using to send them out from the wallet. So you can go in there and you can keep an eye on what's still left, the remaining. Probably shouldn't be saying that because maybe you're after a particular one and when it's gone you won't buy. But again, we're being honest with people. You can see these things. We're being honest, we're being open. That's where we're going. So we're hoping this will generate Jess good money for her university. We're hoping you will gain a canvas, the lucky people. And the rest of you will end up with NFTs, which I honestly think will become more popular as people realise what they actually are. I'm in agreement with a couple of collectors that I'm directly chatting with, that they love these pieces already. And it's because they're genuine art. They're genuinely because you're starting your career. You're only 15. Well, sorry, you're 16 now. You turned 16. You've got a couple of years. Well, you've got 4 years, 5 years of education to come.
Yes.
And then we will then see where your career goes. And that's the point. You guys are on our journey. We're inviting you to join our journey by receiving these pieces. What we're going to do as of next week, after this week, Jess finishes, she'll be painting some commissions. and we will be painting. Or I say we. I say we.
You can help me if you like.
I've got no artistic skills whatsoever. Jess will be painting some new pictures. So
yes, I will.
If there are any commissions out there, give us a shout.
Yeah.
If there's something in a certain area that you'd like to paint, her to paint, give us a shout. There are pieces that I think need to be drawn. I'm hoping that we might do a couple of portraits of some of the popular people in the community. Again, it's going to be down to Jess's enjoyment of those arts, so I'm not going to force her to paint. But I will also point out that you were knocking some of these out. How quickly?
Daily.
You were a painting machine, weren't you, at one stage?
Over lockdown, I didn't get bored, but I thought to myself, you know what would be good use of my time that I very much enjoy, and that was my painting. So I had a canvas a day that I tried to paint.
And we've put the exotic birds out as one of the new pieces. Now that's one of your GCSE collection, i.e. your exam pieces. So that is a final piece, wasn't it?
Yes.
And who was it inspired by?
Abby Diamond's work. Abby Diamond it was just Abby Diamond's work. And the tropical birds, as they have big beaks and they're cool to paint. But her watercolour effect was what I was inspired by. And
I had lots and lots of people contact me as soon as people saw them in Paul PM. They're asking, what are they and how can they buy them? And I've explained that this sale was coming along for those. There's also a portfolio book, isn't there?
So I've got 3 of my art books, all on different topics, all coming with a range of final pieces, but obviously they're kept at school for now and will be kept for a little while yet to be assessed and shown to some students so they can get guidance from it all. But as soon as they're out, we'll show you guys and I can talk through each book in detail, and we could hopefully get them up on the site.
And that's important. The exotic birds, I grabbed that very quickly of you, not only because I wanted to make that an NFT, because I knew the quality was there. There's also, because it's been entered, hasn't it? It's been entered into
the Barton Art competition. So that's the college that I've applied to and I've got a place in. But I applied to their annual art competition.
So we had until the end of the month to actually apply. So I spent the time to take a nice photo of it. And actually, it's come out beautiful. The more I look at it, the more I go, wow. And again, that piece is actually on a piece of paper, isn't it? It's a watercolour on a piece. That I will definitely say will not be sold, will not be...
No.
There will be some discussions on... I do know that there's been a couple of people talking about the giraffes and potentially the deer as well. Now, we've got to talk about those, the primary colours.
Because they're part of a set that were done on quite big canvases. So they'd be quite difficult to send off, as they will weigh quite a lot and will be difficult to fit into boxes.
And Mum and I both believe that you need to draw at least another piece for that as well.
Oh yes, there's more to be added in quite a few areas of the collections.
Okay. So if there are any questions from anybody, ask below. we look for the interaction. We're after people's engagement. We're not here just to take your money. We're here genuinely because Jess needs to improve.
Yeah.
The plan, as I've mentioned, is to get a GoPro. And the idea is you're going to do some live streams, aren't you? I'll let you.
So as school is coming to the end for me, that chapter is closing. During the summer, I'd like to take you guys out with me and show you a few techniques and show you while I'm painting, maybe a few time lapses, a few techniques of what I do, of me painting not previous canvases, but of just general things for you guys that will be added to the collections, but on my own and explaining through.
And you're going to take over, aren't you, the Instagram account, because we've now set up. You're going to take over the Twitter account, which I am dealing with at the moment because you aren't able to due to school. but you will pick up all those mediums and start working with people there.
Yes.
So the idea is your engagement will be more directly to Jess. Obviously, I will be in the background monitoring these things as a parent, as a responsible adult. I will be monitoring these things. But the idea is you will become the owner of these things very, very
Yes.
shortly. We just had to get over your exams, didn't we?
Yeah. Still, I've just got total of 5 or 6 left to sit. And then on Thursday, our school's sending us to Thorpe Park, which is brilliant for us. And then on Friday, that's my very last day of school.
So for anybody that doesn't live in the UK, Thorpe Park is a big roller coaster
Attraction
park. So they're going to be spinning upside down and eating candy floss and probably being very, very drunk. I hope not drunk. That's it. Is the word. Okay, then. So shall we wrap this up? Because it's been a very long video. We're glad and thank you for joining us.
Yes.
And
thank you.
Bye. Now, in all seriousness, if there are any questions, do ask below. We are here to help you. But otherwise, for those that do participate, good luck. It's a bye from Vegas, Paul.
And a bye from Jess Art.
Bye.
Bye.